Hello, and welcome back to the Burn Pancakes podcast, the podcast where mom fails are celebrated. I am your host, Katie Fensky, and I remind moms that everyone burns their first pancake. Today's episode is titled, Why We Can't Have Nice Things. So, in honor of throwing perfection out the window, I'm inviting you into my house so that you can see all the evidence that we, in fact, have children. I would love to have a Pinterest perfect, beautifully designed house, but the reality is we have kids and that's just something we're going to face is that our house isn't going to look perfect or even close to it until the kids are gone. I mean, we all started out with that dream that we'll have this cozy home with throw pillows that actually stay on the couch, maybe a nice car that doesn't smell like smelly cleats, and maybe a wardrobe without mystery stains on it. And then we have kids, and suddenly our nice things turned into used to be nice things, now held together with duct tape and maybe some tears. Or the fact that the kids will, in fact, break everything you own. True story. My husband and I have probably said it weekly. This is why we don't have nice things. We know we need a new couch. We know we need to redo our hall bathroom, but we have three little monsters in our house that destroy things on a daily basis. So we either get a new couch only to have them destroy it, or just wait till they move out in 18 years and then we'll replace it. So let's get into this. I'm going to share some of my horror stories, and I know you probably have some of your own. And together, let's laugh at the fact that parents everywhere live in houses that are basically just waiting for an HGTV mission. This is why we can't have nice things. All right, let's start with the big stuff, the furniture. We bought a really nice chair from Restoration Hardware years ago before we had kids. And I remember thinking, this is the chair, like the grown up chair, the chair that makes the living room look like actually adults live here. It was one of our first like big purchases when we bought our first house. It was a splurge, but it was totally worth it. It was perfectly cute, fit just fine. One look at it would tell you we bought it before we have kids because it's beige. Don't know what we were thinking. Now, fast forward a few years, and that nice chair is now held together with duct tape. Okay, I'm not even joking. Literally, if you go into my living room right now, you will see a chair that has duct tape all over the armrest. Not even the clear tape, the discreet kind, that silver duct tape. Straight up silver, shiny, right there on there, duct tape. You walk in the living room and it's like, yep, kids live here. The boys somehow made a rip in the armrest. Don't know how they did it, but instead of just leaving that little rip, they kept like poking at it, almost like they were doing surgery on it. Then they got to the second layer and started picking out bits of like the foam cushioning in it. So then I'm seeing all this foam on the ground going, where is this coming from? And I saw a gigantic hole in the armrest of my cute Restoration Hardware chair. Now, I probably could reupholster it. But they're just going to do it again. And I'm just so annoyed because I'm like, this is our nice little chair. I don't want to spend any more money on it just because you destroyed it. We love it, the chair, and it does hold some sentimental value because it was kind of one of our first purchases as a married couple in our new house. So we don't really want to get rid of it. So we leave it with duct tape sitting right there on it. I mean, it's covered in stains too. You have to imagine a beige chair and three boys and not expect that to be completely destroyed. But there it is. It's sitting right there in our living room with duct tape covering the hole so they don't make it even worse. Okay, and don't even get me started in the living room on our window blinds. I look up one day, so we have the blinds that are like horizontal slats. And I mean, they came from Home Depot, so they weren't like fancy custom made or anything. But I look over and I see bite marks on the blinds, the wood part. Apparently, one of my children thought they were using it as a teething toy, and now the blinds look like a beaver got at it. It's not like they're taking chunks out of it because it probably is like a foam kind of, I don't know, texture, but they're leaving these little bite marks all along the blinds, and not just one. It's like all the way across. And I thought to myself, like, oh God, it's got to be the young one who's teething. But they're at three different heights. So at one time, each of them decided to take a bite out of the blinds. I don't know why kids do this. No one warned me that I would need to baby proof blinds to keep them from biting them. But there they are in our living room, the very front of our house. And it's just a sign that, hey, kids live here, check out their bite marks. If we ever get in trouble with the law and they need to see their dental records, I'll just say, go ahead, take a look at the blinds. All right, let's talk about cars, or should I say my mobile trash can, pretty much. Pre-kids, I thought my car would stay clean. It would be pretty organized, maybe even smell nice. I didn't even put anything in the back seat before I had kids, so the back seat of the car looked perfectly brand new. Now, post kids, my car smells like rotting shoes and it's covered in crumbs and something sticky at all times. One day I even got into the car and no joke, I literally gagged because the smell of my son's baseball bag. I think it was the cleats in his bag that smelled so bad, but I got in the car and literally was like, what is that smell? Now, there are scratches on the outside of my car because my boys like to ride their bikes down the driveway, which is fine. But each week I find a new scratch on the exterior of my car. So my once shiny paint job now looks like it has like T-Rex claws going down it. And one day I caught Maverick with a hammer. He said he was mining for gold. And I was like, oh, that's cute. You're mining for gold. But later I realized he was doing it on my car. So on the passenger back door, there are three perfectly round dents that match that hammer. So he was hammering on my car. Sometimes I get so embarrassed driving it around thinking, oh my God, like people think I must be a terrible driver or something, running into bushes, running into shopping carts, because it is literally scratched up and dented. It's just not worth fixing at this point because we all know it's just going to happen again. So the scratches, the sticky door handles, the crayon marks, it's all part of the package. And it's why we can't have nice things anymore. I was in the baseball parking lot one day and I was chit-chatting with my friend. So she was parked next to me. So we were kind of just open the windows talking. And I was letting my two little boys kind of just play around in the back seat. Then I look back and I see that he had taken a ballpoint pen. This was Maverick, my youngest, and scribbled all over the headrest of the back seat. So it's like beige leather. And I see this big blue ballpoint pen scribble and I panicked. I was like, that is never coming out. Luckily, you guys are not even going to believe this. My friend had a baby wipe. She had hand sanitizer. And what else did we try? We tried, I feel like there was like glass cleaner or something in the car. No joke, the hand sanitizer literally got rid of all the markings. Like you go to my car now and you would never know that there was drawing on there. But I was panicking when it happened because, you have kids, you can't have nice things. Okay, so now let's move inside again to what used to be our beautifully painted walls. You guys, the peeled paint in the boys' room is becoming next level. It's like they thought they were in prison and they were planning an escape one piece of paint at a time. And why? Why do my kids peel the paint off of the wall? Is there a, Like it makes no sense to me. Like why all of a sudden is it like a sensory thing that I just like see a little bit and I need to pick it? And like the walls were painted blue when we moved in. They're like a navy color, so we thought, okay, just leave it at that. That's perfect. But now it's like, do we need to go back and repaint these walls because there are literal like spots where they have taken the paint off. And they've also covered their walls in stickers. Like one day they had a bunch of like a whole roll of stickers and they are all over the wall. And so now I'm like, I don't care what you do to this room. Mess it up because it's going to be the one you have to sleep in for the next what, 15 years? 10 let's see 10 years. When will my son be out out of here? You're going to live in this bedroom until you move out and then I'm going to take over. And don't even get me started on just decor. I remember when I used to just have cute throw pillows. Um, the couch was always like made really nice. And now I don't even bother because the pillows in my house are basically used as launching pads or weapons. I could buy a really cute anthropology pillow, but within 24 hours, it would be covered in marker or Cheeto dust all over it, or lying on the ground and someone stepping on it. The other day, I saw Ronan sitting on the couch and he had the corner of our pillow in his mouth and he was chewing on it. I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, I am constantly putting the pillows back on the couch, maybe like 4 or 5 times a day for the kids just to take them off again and leave them on the floor. Okay, let's move on to another category, and it's anything that mom tries to wear and look nice. Sunglasses, the boys break them. Every single pair I've had, they want to put them on their face and they stretch them too big and then broken the next minute. Once we were at the beach, Maverick was a toddler, so I was holding him and we were kind of in the waves. And he went to grab my face and flung my glasses, like a pair that I actually really, really loved, flung them into the waves. And I had this like moment of, oh my God, I saw them floating away. And I thought, do I save my child who cannot go in that water? Or do I save my sunglasses? And I did choose my child, but I just watched as my sunglasses drifted away into this big wave, never to be seen again. And I was like, why? Why did you have to touch my face? And my clothes, forget it. No matter what I wear, I will have some sort of mystery stain within 10 minutes. Yogurt handprints, applesauce, sticky fingers, especially when the boys are roving at football or baseball practice and they get all dirty and then they come up and want to sit on your lap and you're like, could you not get that on me? Or somehow they end up like putting their feet on you. Ugh. The one, your kid hugs you and you're like, I love this sweet hug, but can you just not get me dirty? Like, I don't know. I love wearing white, but it's like the worst choice. Like it's constantly dirty. The other day we let Jet wear Jake's extra hat for football because Ronan had a game. And in one, and not even one day, like a 2 hour span, he came back and it's white in the front, covered in like stains. Like we could barely even get it out. It was ridiculous. And I'm like, why do we let our kids have our things? Why? Now, in our front yard, we back in the spring, we started letting the boys play soccer. Like all of a sudden they got into soccer. So we're like, cool, cool, go kick the ball around. And I thought, oh, that's great. They're outside, they're being active, they're playing together and like mostly not fighting until I started noticing that they were kicking the soccer ball into our white picket fence. And then some of the, I don't know, they're called spokes, were breaking. Like the top of it would break or the whole thing would completely come off. So we had like patches in our picket fence. And then I would be sitting in the house and I'd hear a big bang because they hit the soccer ball into the front window. I cannot believe, I'm like knocking on wood right now, that they did not break it. Like the amount of times they kicked the soccer ball into the window, I kept going out there and saying, the window is not the goal. Like, please find a different goal, find somewhere else to do. But they probably broke 3 spokes off of the fence. My husband did one weekend say, here are some new spokes. I don't know what those are called, posts. whatever they are. Paint them white, and you're going to help me get them back on the fence. They did that. They patched it up. Our fence is leaning a little bit, which I think is having to do with the soccer ball. But if I look out, like I can literally see my front yard right now. We have one missing again, and the top of one has broken off. So I think we're going to ban soccer from the front yard because it's very obvious when you drive by our house that kids live here. Okay, so now for some audience stories. I know you all feel the same way. Moms can't have nice things. So I want to share what you have shared with me so that we all feel like it doesn't have to be perfect, everyone. We can all look like we actually have kids. Okay, so someone said, my toddler found a Sharpie and decided to draw on our brand new couch. Oh my goodness. I've had someone draw on my couch, but it was with crayon, and luckily crayon came out. So we have like that microfiber. I don't know why, like who was whispering in our ear before we had kids and we bought that couch, but that was a good choice, getting the microfiber. But Sharpie, oh my God, I would have lost my mind. Ugh. Okay, another one. I made the mistake of buying glitter slime. Oh God. Glitter and slime together, it's terrible. She said, 2 years later, I am still finding sparkles in the carpet, and I don't think our house will ever recover. Okay, slime. I mean, Play-Doh is too. Slime and glitter, that combo together, that would be the worst. We did have at Christmas time, there's this thing called the melting elf or the melting snow. No, melting elf, something like that, where you use putty and you make an elf, and then as it sits there, it like falls. I think it must have been a snowman, but for some reason I remember green putty. That stuff is, Jake hates it. I saved it for a couple years, so like every Christmas we would take it out and use it. But one time it ended up on, I think, our carpet, our rug, and he was like, that's it. That stuff's going in the trash. I can't. Okay. Another mom said, one morning I went to pour my coffee and found a Lego inside my mug. Okay. That sounds just like absolutely something that would happen on a daily basis in a boy house. This mom said, my daughter thought my wedding ring would make the perfect accessory for Barbie. And she spent 3 weeks searching the house until they found it in the Barbie doll house. Oh my God. I would have died. All right. This mom said, my son threw a Hot Wheel car across the room and cracked the TV screen. Oh my goodness. Okay. That might be the worst. These stories just prove that we're all in this together. It's not just my duct tape chair or my bite mark blinds. We are a collective of parents living in houses that aren't perfect, but are homes to our families. I know one day I'm going to look back and say, oh, I miss cleaning those fingerprints off of the door. We have a sliding door that's glass, and I always have to clean it. Maybe I won't miss the actual cleaning it, but I'll miss having the kids in the house is probably what I meant. So here's the truth. Parents really can't have nice things, but maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay to live in normal. As much as I'd love a spotless house and a car that doesn't smell like chicken nuggets, the scratches, the stains, the broken blinds are just proof that life is happening. They're proof of kids being kids, memories are being made. Sometimes these memories are messy and sometimes they're expensive to fix, but memories are memories. And I know we're going to look back and maybe not laugh at all of it, but it's not going to be the end of the world later. One day I will have nice things again. I will have nice furniture. The car isn't going to look like it survived a war. And maybe the Tupperware will have all the lids that match. But I know I'm going to miss this chaos. And I'm going to miss the kids being little and all the things that come with it. Now, until then, I will be keeping an extra roll of duct tape just in case they break any more of our furniture. Thanks for hanging out with me today for this conversation. If you laughed, nodded your head, or had a, oh my gosh, me too moment, make sure to share this episode with another friend who's currently mourning her own ruined couch. Or leave me a review sharing your own personal story because I love reading those. Because if we can't have nice things, at least we can laugh about them together. Until next week's conversation, I want to remind you that everyone burns their first pancake, so just keep flipping.